Good morning, traders. This is a live trade recap. I took 3 trades this morning with Vtvt. It was on the Webull top gainers list organized by volume. It was number 2 at this point, and obviously it was running up. This is the pre-market high, and it broke through it, and that's my criteria to look for an entry, so I have to wait for a pullback. I took 3 trades on Vtvt, and all 3 failed, unfortunately. One of them by just 2 cents. But that sometimes that's the way it goes. I traded my plan and my strategy 100% exactly, and so I'm not that frustrated because I did everything that I could do, and then it's up to the stock or the market to decide whether or not the plan actually works. So let's look at the first entry here. So again, this is the pre-market high. This is basically an ABCD pattern. Here would be point A, and this is B, and now I'm waiting for the C to form. So at this point I'm waiting for a 1 minute candle. So now this basically C is right here now, and I'm waiting for a 1 minute candle to make a new high, and that's my entry. So right now the high of this candle is 422, and so I need to see 423 or better to get in. There. So there's 424. You can see this signifies that I hit my hotkeys, and I get filled at 425. So really just 1 cent slippage. This is me using my 2R calculator to calculate my 2R target. Just keeps me from making mistakes. It takes a little stress out of trading. So it was immediately in the green. Just needed this to go to 457. And it's looking pretty promising at this point. My stop is 1 cent below this candle. Now you get some choppiness, so as it chops around, I cancel this order. That way if it comes down below my or if it comes down to my stop below this red line, that I can exit out with my hotkeys quickly. And I go ahead and mark out where that entry was just for, on the profit target, just for reference. And now it goes back up again, so I put that order out there again. Look at that, it went up to 455. My target's 457. I can't pull it down, I can't weak hand it. If I do, I have to stop trading for the whole month, because I have over 3 months of data showing that when I do that in the long run it's costing me money. Even when I do get stopped out by 1 cent or whatever, it's better for me to hold to my target every single time and stop out when it doesn't get to my target than it is to try to weak hand these stocks and leave money on the table. So then it comes back down again. I cancel that order, put it back out there. So this was kind of, this is definitely an annoying trade to work. Now it's coming down to my stop. I need to see 409. You can see on my 2R calculator, 409 is my stop. So if I don't see 409, I don't do anything. But I think it's coming here soon. But see, this is why you don't do anything until you actually see your stop. You don't stop out like, oh, it's getting close to my stop, let me go ahead and get out. Because often it'll come down to your stop and bounce off and then hit your target. It's happened to me a lot. And it looked like it might do that this time, but unfortunately it didn't. So yeah, here I also want to mention one other thing too, because this is something I used to do, not that long ago. I would look at something like this and say, well, this is like the next entry is when this candle breaks, and I might double up, add to my position and say, well, bring my average down a little bit and make my profit target a little closer, have more shares in there, so the win is bigger. The problem with that is the loss is always big. It's also bigger. So here the high is 420. So 421 would be the entry. So there's 421. So that would be when I'm supposed to hit my hotkeys. But I'm buying the ask. So look at where the ask is. You have to buy the ask. You can't buy the bid. You can put in an order at the bid price, but the ask has to come up to that price for you to get filled. So let's just pretend that I would have doubled down here, saying, okay, this is the one that's going to work out. I would get filled at 426, actually moving my average up, moving my profit target up to probably 459. And that trade also would have failed. So I would have just doubled my loss on that trade there. So let's just look at where I got stopped out. So that's why, once you're in a trade, don't average up, even if it's going in your favor. Definitely don't average down ever. You're just going to increase your losses. Once in a while, it does work out, and then you think, you can get away with it. But even if it works out like 9 out of 10 times, that 10th time that it fails because you're doubled down on it, it's going to wipe out all those previous profits. More than likely. So here's 410. I remember I need to see 409 to get out. There's 409. I hit my sell all keys. I get filled at 409, so that was nice. And it was a good thing, I hit them right away because it jumped down to 403. I guess a lot of people had that same stop in mind. So, again, I was just checking the pattern, reconfirming that, this isn't below point A. It's not anywhere near point A. So that was the first failed trade. So my plan, gives me 3 possible trades. So now I'm looking for the next entry, because now I'm just to assume that was, too early of an entry. It wasn't really the full pullback. So now I'm just looking for the next entry. And the idea is that eventually you catch the bottom of the real pullback, and then you'll hit your target. So there's the next one. The entry was executed perfectly. The high of this candle is, just wanted to pause it on that. It's 404. So my ideal entry is 405. There, hit 405. So I guess the entry wasn't executed perfectly because I obviously hit my hotkeys, but I got the exact entry that I wanted, so it worked out. It worked out perfectly, even though I wasn't perfect. And then the low of this was, what was it? Must have been 394, so my stop's 393. My target is 427, which is right around this area, so much more likely to work out on this trade than the previous one, and the risk was even lower. They were both low-risk trades. Anything below 5% seems to work out with this 2R target, most of the time. So I was kind of surprised these didn't work out. Remember, this was the number 2 volume traded stock on the top gainers list. So those are pretty good factors. All right. So here it goes. Not even sure if I ever got to put, I just took that other stock off the watch list. So then I get stopped out here. And remember, my stop is 393. Let's watch the price, because this one I do catch some slippage on. But there's nothing I could have done about it. I hit my hotkeys pretty much exactly when I saw 393 or less. Here's 394. I can't do anything until 393. There, right there, 390. I hit my, so you see it went from 394 to 390. I got filled at 388. So I caught 5 cent slippage there, which hurts, but nothing you can do about it. Even if this was during market hours, something like that happens and you have a hard stop in place, you're probably going to get the same exact slippage. Okay, so that was trade number 2. Trade number 3 is coming up, and you can see it's very short. So again, still the ABCD pattern hasn't been broken yet. So here's A, here's B, and now this is C, and that's about 55% retracement. So it's still a pretty strong setup. There's no reason not to take a trade again. I'm allowed 3 trades for this exact reason. And yesterday, kind of the same thing happened, and the first 2 trades failed, and the third trade worked, and it almost got me basically got me back to break even. So that's why this is part of my plan. But if the third trade fails, then that's it. That's the last chance. Now, the other thing that's really interesting here is that what if that first trade worked out and I took these other 2 entries because they were decent setups? Notice that they both failed. So that's why I stop out, or I should say I stop trading once I hit 2R, because I don't want to give back the profits. That basically would have, that first trade would have worked, I would have been stopped out on these 2. I would have been back to 0, more than likely. So here it is. 396 was the ideal entry, I believe. Yeah, because here the high of this candle is 394, so I got filled exactly where I wanted to, and the stop is 387. And the profit target, excuse my cat, profit target is 414. Not even sure if I got to drag this down, because look here, it's going to stop me out. So if I see 387, I have to hit my sell all keys. There's 386, so it never gave me 387. I hit sell as soon as I saw that, and then I got 2 cents slippage there. So that's it. Unfortunately, every trade failed, but so now I have, for the week so far, I have 3 winners and 5 losers, but I am still green on the week because I'm not weak handing. So that, you could argue that, well, on that first trade, what if I pulled down the target and got filled? Then it would have been a green trade. But what if I did that on all of these trades and missed out on, here's a 16% gain on that one trade, an 8% gain basically over there. This one isn't as big, I don't think. I have to change this to percent. But yeah, this one's 5.5%. So you're only going to get those big winners by holding strong to your target. And those protect you when, in days like this, when you strike out 3 times in a row. And that's the only way this plan works. You got to hold strong, always honor your profit target at 2R, always stop out at 1R. And then if you can just stay close to a 50% win average, you'll be green by a decent amount by the end of the month. Right now, this is like a 37% win average, and I'm still green, thanks to, one of those trades being, a little bit bigger of a ROI. But either way, that's the only way this works. So, all right, guys, hopefully tomorrow I get an actual green trade, and maybe I'll get lucky and it'll be the first trade and it'll be quick and I'll be done. So that'd be nice. Anyway, hope you guys are doing well, and let me know if you have any questions about this trade or any others. And once again, always honor your stop losses and your profit target. And in the end, you should be green. Take care.